When confronted with the idea of life having a purpose, we can look at it from several points of view, from a biological point of view, from a psychological point of view, from a spiritual point of view, and some kind of integration of those, ideally. Biologically, it seems like life's purpose is to perpetuate itself. And in that sense, gay and lesbian people, queer people, may feel a bit left out unless they participate in that biological imperative. But that's a very limited view. As human beings, we're more than just biological beings. We produce things that are more durable than mere progeny, whether it's literature, art, scientific insights, architecture, almost any field of human knowledge where knowledge gets advanced is evidence of humans fulfilling something of their purpose. And then emotionally, of course, the usual models for fulfillment would include family of some sort, partnership with someone or some persons in multiple partner families, for instance, or the raising of children again. Being connected with the community is often one hallmark of satisfaction in life, is feeling useful and necessary. All good stuff, all part of the big picture of the purpose of life. But when we speak spiritually, we're talking about a deeper, more lasting value than any of those things I've mentioned, all of which are somewhat transitory. Sometimes some things will last. Buildings can last for hundreds of years, sometimes thousands of years if they're very strong and protected. But we've seen, these in the Middle East recently, the 2,000-year-old structures being destroyed in an instant by ignorant persons for their own selfish and sad ends. So nothing that we produce in the world of physical or intellectual or even emotional nature lasts. So is there anything that we can do, anything that we can achieve, anything that we can become or be that lasts? And this is where the tantras and spirituality in general will say, well, yes, there is. And that is to know thyself, as they say. Know thyself. Now, some people think happiness is the purpose of life, but do you really know anybody who's happy all the time, or even most of the time? I don't. I think the wisest people I know become content. Contentedness is something that they achieve, and that's certainly achievable. But happiness, the problem with happiness is it's a mental state. And mental states are transient by their very nature. They're like a wisp of smoke, a slight breeze, and it's gone. And then some other feeling comes up. So to have some transient feeling as your goal is too small a goal for a human being. We need something deeper, more lasting. So how does contentment come? Well, contentment comes with deep and true self-knowledge. And when we talk about the self, we're not talking only about the psychophysical organism. Oftentimes in Western psychology, self-knowledge means understanding one's emotions, one's motivations, one's family history, and how that's created the personality that you inhabit now, and how that affects your choices, and how you can change some of that in order to make better choices and enjoy a more interconnected, fulfilling life. And again, all that's good. It's good to know those things, and it's good to be interconnected, and it's good to have community. It's good to fulfill your inner urges for self-expression, assuming they don't harm anybody or involve deceiving people. But there's more to that. There's more to be had. There's more to achieve. And I believe that unless one achieves that deeper self-knowledge, true contentment, lasting contentment can't happen. And the reason is because true self-knowledge is the knowledge of your oneness with all things. Now that's something that's not obvious by just looking at the world. The world seems very disjointed, and people seem isolated and separate, and they all have their different opinions and all that. That's fine. But there is a deeper experience, a deeper awareness that comes in what's called illumination, where your fundamental nature is experienced. You know yourself as the essence of all things, the self of all selves. Then everything else comes into focus, as it were. Everything else finds its place, because you know who you are, you know what you are, you understand that you are already interconnected with all things, that nothing can change that, nothing can take that away. It doesn't depend upon anything that you do or don't do. It was always there, it just needed to be recognized, it needed to be experienced, because in that experience of oneness, the less true experience of multiplicity is negated, is transcended rather, and one sees, yes, at one level everything is all split up, there's a mess of the world, it's never fixed. As Ramakrishna said, it's like trying to straighten out a pubic hair. No matter how many times you pull it, it just kinks back up, and that's the nature of the phenomenal world. But at a deeper level, at the level of oneness, one achieves a purpose, the purpose of life that is lasting and satisfying, and nothing, not even death, can take that away.